Hello everyone, how you doing? It's Jordan here, back again, desperately needing a haircut. We're taking a look at all the physical releases coming to the Switch this week, January 24th until the 28th, the last full week of the worst month of the year, and thankfully, it's a bit of a belter. Remember, we are giving away Nintendo Switch OLED model to one of you once we reach 100,000 subscribers. We just passed 80,000, so thank you guys, but please keep subscribing. Make a new account, subscribe, please. Alright, this week we've got Death's Gambit Afterlife releasing in North America this week. This is a 2D action Metroidvania that supposedly builds on the original Death's Gambit experience, also adding plenty more content. This has beautiful artwork and was very well received when it released digitally, so I know a lot of people are excited about this one. Europe should be getting this physically too, but they are running behind somewhat, but I do know there's going to be an art book that comes with the European version. That's a nice little bonus. Either way, this is going to be a fine addition to anyone's Switch collection, I'm 100% sure. And our executive producers Thorn Metaluna and Jonathan Rumo have chosen this as their pick of the week. Boulder Dash Ultimate Collection is, unsurprisingly, a collection of Boulder Dash games. Despite there being a frankly worrying amount of versions and sequels of this game, this Ultimate Collection hilariously only contains two, 30th Anniversary and Boulder Dash Deluxe, basically the two most recent games. A massively missed opportunity in my opinion, but then again, I've never played them, maybe they're all a bit bobbins, I don't know. Let me know, old people, let me know. Is Boulder Dash a good game? It's hard to get away from the shovelware visuals these games present, and it's just unbelievably amazing they decided on this cover art. At least try not to make it look like an abandoned Wii game. Summer Imara is perhaps releasing this week. It's been pushed back quite a bit, so I'm not sure what to believe. This life sim adventure island kind of game has a great premise, but didn't quite live up to its expectations if you check out our review. But still, it does have its charm. There is a standard edition coming as well as a collector's edition, which includes an art book, soundtrack, pin, diorama, poster, stickers, and a collector's box, of course. Oh, and by the way, there is something called Pokemon Legends Arceus. I don't know, I've never heard of it. Seems to be some sort of monster catching knockoff that are 10 a penny these days. Sick of them! But of course, it's the biggest step the Pokemon company has taken since the last disappointing one. I don't know, this open world-ish game looks like it has a lot of where the series should have gone about 10 years ago already, but it is a step in the right direction and hopefully it pays off. I'm not personally going to get this one, at least not right now, because I'm Pokemon out for the time being, but I am eager to know the thoughts of those well-balanced views that Pokemon fans are well known for. Actually, to be honest, the only things that I need to know, one, does it have Farfetch'd? And two, can you visually see the leak beating the living shit out of Bidoofs? If so, that could be a game changer. And our executive producers JCross7776, Dane Wilkinson, Elisa God of Resin, and Robotech have chosen this as their pick of the week. Alright, the Low Prince Yuppie Psycho is up for pre-order right now in North America at VGNY. This is their second release in a kind of series they're doing. They did Earth Atlantis, and now Yuppie Psycho. This is a weird kind of psychological horror game, that's the bracket I would put it in anyways. There is the Standard Edition Plus and Elite Edition, which includes an exclusive cover art that is all shiny and metallic. Yeah, they got me good. Plus, it's an actual numbered release, so you can actually see it on the cartridge, the numbers, for those who don't actually trust limited companies to, actually keep it limited. Now you have unequivocal proof, so when your nan's over, having Christmas dinner, you can show her, look nan, only 5,000 of these were ever made, and she can ask you, what you doing with your life. You get a booklet alongside some other nice goodies, plus a pre-order bonus USB stick that contains videos that are actually used within the game, kind of like having the source videos. I think that's a nice little touch. It's worth noting that this is getting a physical release in Europe at some point too. But the North American version, head over to VGNY. And our executive producer Government Fat Cat has chosen this as his pick of the week. Croixleur Sigma is a really interesting release from Red Arc Games. I remember back when it released digitally and I was really hoping it would get a physical release of some kind, and Red Arc Games came to the rescue about 3 years too late. This is a simple enough arena hack and slash RPG, very addictive as you keep on leveling up, upgrading all your stuff, getting a high score. This is not a massive adventure or anything, it's just a simple gameplay loop of beating the crap out of waves of bad guys. Sometimes the simple things in life are the best, like me. Horace. Yes, possibly the least interesting game title since, well, Horace Goes Skiing. Remember that one? This is Super Rare's latest release, hot off the heels of Bloodroots, and this is just as fantastic. They've started the year immensely well. This is a nostalgic platformer that the internet went nuts for about 3 days. It tries to tell the story of a creepy-ass robot on a big adventure. A lot of love was obviously put into this and was regarded as one of the best indie games of its year. So with only 4,000 copies available, Super Rare once again doing a disservice to the game and the developers. Come on, have some faith, yeah? Support the developers. 5,000-6,000 copies. It can easily sell that, maybe not immediately, but it will sell them eventually. This is going to sell out in about 5 minutes, so you better be there in time. Personally, well, I will be asleep. And our executive producers Raven Knight, Grantsert, and Brent McLean have chosen this as their pick of the week. Cogen Sword of Rewind is going up for pre-order limited run this week. Yes, it's also getting a release in Japan as well this week, but I'll talk more about that later. This is a great looking side-scrolling action game. There's even a demo up on the eShop right now. It's basically a Mega Man X style game with the gimmick of turning back time, but only 3 seconds. It's a gimmick that's been done before, but what I've played in the demo so far seems very, very interesting. There is a cooldown mechanic, and it also helps raise platforms. I'm really enjoying it, and fingers crossed the developer actually replies to me so I can get a review copy. Come on, gem drops. There is a standard edition and a collector's edition. As I said, there is a Japanese version out this week which does have English, so that may be a better option for some. Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger IX2 is yet another Mega Man X-like action platformer, a sequel to a game from a few years back made by the masters at Inti Creates. And once again, while this is going up for pre-order limited run this week, it's also getting its Japanese release this week too, with English, so I'll talk about it again very soon. There is a standard edition and a collector's edition, and you can also even buy this as a double pack with Cogen. I guess they found them so similar, they might as well. River City Girl Zero is the third limited run release mentioned in this episode, but it ain't the last. Yes, this is actually quite a big announcement. This was originally a Japanese-only Super Famicom game. While technically this is not a River City Girls game, I guess for marketing reasons they decided to, revise history as you do for the big bucks. This is a commendable but slightly antiquated... This is a commendable but slightly antiquated, why can't I say that word? Side-scrolling beat 'em up, but I appreciate the fact it's not antiquated. But I appreciate the fact it's not being lost to history, even if they had to change history to make it happen. It's localized, running on modern hardware, so props to them for doing something like this. I do advise you check out the fan translator ROM, just so you know what you're getting though. Don't expect a proper, polished River City Girls experience. At the end of the day, it's just a pretty average Super Nintendo beat 'em up. And just like any way forward release from Limited Run, they are ready to milk you dry, with more editions and merch than you know what to do with. Standard Edition, Collector's Edition, and Limited Ultimate Edition, which isn't actually limited as it's an open pre-order. You get some action figures if you're into that sort of thing. January 28th for this, and I've just got to say, Valis, oh yeah, they bring back the old cover art that is like horrendous, but for this one, no, they don't bring back the awesome cover art. Well, they do, but they remake it, and it's not as good. Use the old one, the old Super Famicom cover art. Mwah, it's magnificent. And our executive producer Michael Del Polito has chosen this as his pick of the week. And unfortunately, last but not least, is Astalon. This is a fantastic action platformer that's probably going to be overlooked after the tidal wave of limited runs other releases this week. It's a pity, but what can you do when you flood the market with more stuff than people can actually afford? This may look simple, small, NES style, but it is incredibly well done, blending retro with modern sensibilities in a similar fashion to what Shovel Knight did. This is a Metroidvania style game from Lab Works and appeared in many Games of the Year list, especially when it came to indies. And I know it was nominated in our Community Game of the Year, but didn't quite make the top 15. There is a standard edition, as well as a collector's edition that includes a soundtrack CD, art book, and magnets. Honestly, if you only have like a set budget for this month, and you can only afford like one limited run game this week, I would go with this one. Seriously, hear me out, because Cogen and Gunvolt Chronicles, well, you'll still be able to get them in Japan long after this pre-order is done. And River City Girl Zero, nice piece of history, but it's not that great of a game. This, however, this is a great game that deserves your attention. Get this one, if you only get one. And our executive producer Boombox has chosen this as his pick of the week. Before we go into the imports, you may know that Red Art Games will be sending out their version of Record of Lodoss War in a couple of weeks, and the digital release on the Nintendo Switch is this week. With that in mind, I've been given a spare download code for the game. It's a European download code, and if you want to win it, then please head over to watch my review of Record of Lodoss War. Again, if you've watched it already, and please leave a comment answering the question, what do firemen all over the world cover themselves in? That's it. Don't write anything else, okay? And I'll announce a winner next week. But please do me a massive favor and watch all of the video, because if you only watch like 2 seconds of it, the average watch time will tank and then it will kill the video. So yeah, I won't be doing that again if the average view time tanks. So please watch all of it, and I might do this sort of thing again, okay? Alright, the imports. Remember guys, if anything takes your fancy and you'd like to import it for yourself, then consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. If you use those links, it also helps support this series ever so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Plus, in return, if you click our links, you can get a very nice 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV while checking out. That's all one word, SwitchWatchTV, for 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia. As mentioned a little bit back, Cogen Sword of Rewind is seeing a physical release in Japan this week, both a standard edition and a collector's edition, which comes with an art book, voice drama, and mini soundtrack, plus some DLC. I've talked about this game already, but if you're not in North America, or if you're in the future and can't get their limited nature, then the Japanese version is a fantastic way to go. Plus, I really love the box art quite a bit more. It's more epic and adventurous. Remember, this does have English, plus if you buy without links, you also support me at the same time. And our executive producers Issa, Vey, and Cartoon Soren have chosen this Japanese version as their pick of the week. Again, pretty much the same thing. Gunvolt Chronicles, Luminous, Avenger, IX2. At least we have pretty advanced warning about this. If you're in North America, you may want limited runs version. If you're in the future watching this for some reason, then the Japanese or Asian versions may be the way to go. It has English, more accessible, plus you support me. There is a standard edition and a collector's edition, which includes a strategy guide, no doubt in Japanese, a CD, and a DVD. What are they? Our executive producer Alexander Kato has chosen this Japanese version as their pick of the week. 5 years after getting a standard physical release in Japan, My Girlfriend is a Mermaid is getting an anniversary collector's edition this week in Japan. Normally, I wouldn't be too excited about this, but let's face it, this is called My Girlfriend is a Mermaid? It has to happen. This is a visual novel with English where, well, I don't think I really need to explain the plot. The title does a grand job. I mean, why on earth Inti Creates went with Gunvolt Chronicles, Luminous Avenger, IX2? I mean, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. That's terrible for the consumer. But My Girlfriend is a Mermaid? I mean, it nails it. You know what it's about. You know. And our executive producer Parsnip Coffee has chosen this as a pick of the week. Also, I have to point out The Company Man. It got delayed from last week to this week. I hope you watched my review. It's a very good action platformer. There's a whole lot of that going on this week. Asian exclusive with English. Also, apparently Japan and Asia are getting GTA Definitive Edition. I don't know how true that is or not. And also, there's an absolutely overwhelming amount of Japanese-only visual novels and belated Japanese releases. I'm not even going to attempt their names, but here they are on the screen right now. Alright, before we go into the community spotlight, I just want to plug my new channel. I know some of you have never played a visual novel before in your life, and that's fine, but last week I put out a video telling you all the best VNs to actually start with if you're interested into getting into the genre. And tomorrow, on Tuesday, I also have another video going out telling you all the terminologies, because when you look at visual novel stuff like online, there's a lot of acronyms and weird Japanese otaku words and stuff like that. It's very difficult. It's a big barrier to entry, but in the coming video on Tuesday, I explain all of them. Well, Miguel, he wrote it, not me, but I do my voice, okay? So, anyways, please go over there, watch it, subscribe, do me a favor. Alright, the community spotlight. Alonso Sanchez sent in this photo showing off the collector's edition of Witch Spring 3, looking marvelous, using the best artwork for the game, which is the same as the Asian standard edition, which I have. Very happy about that. Very nice to see either way. Annabelle, thanks for using our links to purchase these games, massively appreciate it. I recently got Ingrandia and Legend of Mana 2, which I was going to show off this week until the episode went on a bit too long. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in the Ukulele Duology. I really need to play both of these. I would definitely have the first game by now if it was a standard retail release. Even though I know it's a bit janky, it appeals to me more than the universally acclaimed sequel. Etienne sent in these two games. If you used our links, I appreciate it very much. You have the classic Eastward. Each day that goes by is another sale lost for I Am 8-bit. What are those guys playing at? And the second game, which I know you're all gonna ask, is the recent-ish Livestream, an import-exclusive horror game with English. Executive producer Grant Sir sent in Tales of Iron. I heard it's a rather good game, but we do have to ask ourselves, why a rat? Why not a Steambok? Jack Serras proved my theory correctly. How on earth can you tell these two games apart at a glance? What a marketing mistake from Square Enix. The cover is the same. The title, pretty much the same aside from a 3-letter word added to the beginning. Terrible marketing. Kiel sent in Flashback Collector's Edition. I actually have this myself when it was going super cheap over here in China, but I've never actually opened it up. Thanks for showing me. Out of Print Archive sent in the much sought after Buried Stars. This Korea-only physical release of a visual novel that does have English, but damn, it ain't cheap to get. Executive producer Punky Dooster did what he does best, showing us inside a card case with a good helping of retro titles, particularly of the beat-em-up genre. A lot of people becoming massively nostalgic for it, even though I was never a major fan of them, mostly because I suck at them, and I always thought the computer was cheating in the arcades, which they were. Q Freak got in these lovely games, Shadowberg from First Press, It'll Do from our friends at One Print. I think you can still get some of those, don't miss out on that lovely little game. Executive producer Robotech sent in these games. Rune Factory 5 isn't too far away now. It's been a long ass wait, but what a way to get into the mood than Rune Factory 4. Classic action RPG, farm, life, sim, thingy, everything. TN464, thanks for using our links to purchase these two classic JRPGs. Massively appreciate it ever so much. And to all of you, I have to say, especially over this last year, it's been pretty tough, especially with things going on in the background, but your support by using our links has made this series what it is. Thank you. Transient Image sent in these games. I heard Akiba's Trip is going pretty cheap these days, and it looks like something I'd probably enjoy. Executive producer Vey had a quiet week picking up RP Golf Legends. Watch my review if you haven't already, plus the collector's edition of Crown Trick, which did finally release in Europe. World Funeral, thanks for using our links to pick up these absolute beauties. EDF! Yes, EDF 3 does not have English sadly, but hey, it's EDF, so you're blasting space bugs, and at that point, language has no meaning. Executive producer Issa sent in some super rare triple helpings. Interesting to hear that they don't have any more shorts in the work, which is kind of baffling. I know they royally screwed up the first release in so many ways that one could make a video essay about it, but you'd have thought that they'd already have like a handful in the works in advance. But, you know, that would require too much planning. Alright, let's have a roundup. Ashura G. Burai Murian. Chewit. Derek Jenkins. JP. Caterpie. Braid. Braid? What did I write here? I think Caterpie and Kraid. I don't know. I'm reading my script. I don't know what's going on. McLaren. Middly Madhouse. Knee. Park Ranger. Rorn. Rovest. West Country Blue. Alright, send me pictures on Twitter, SoWhatAboutGame. You can DM me or tag me in a post, use hashtag Let'sGetPhysical. I'll retweet it for you as well. Remember, we have an email address, SwitchWatchSpotlight@gmail.com. You can send it there, or in our Discord. The server link is below in the description. Please send it in the submissions section so I can actually see it. And just send me one picture per week. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Get Physical. Special thanks to our executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brett McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Santa Dartaruga, Alexander Cato, J Cross 7776, Elisa, Punky Dooster, Michael Del Polito, Cartoon Soren, Robotech Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Government, Fat Cat, Issa, the Mental Traveler, and Grant Sir. Thank you for your support, plus you, yeah, you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, you are a massive, massive legend. You help us grow. The longer you watch, the more YouTube shows it to other people, yeah? That's why we get 10,000 views every week, because of you. Yes, you. So, give me a banana emoji, I don't know. Please check out some of our other stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on. Check the other stuff out. It's a lot of stuff. See you.